Okay, so Pixel 9 and iPhone 15. Let's see which one has the best camera system. And no, this video is not paid by Google. As usual, I bought both of these phones with my own money, so no one has any input on this video. On my channel, I focus more on the camera experience rather than going through official specs of the phone. So make sure you are subscribed and like this video. Then let's begin. And for me, the interesting thing about this phone started already with the unboxing. You know, this Google Pixel 9 box feels unusual. It's very nature friendly or something, I guess. Obviously not as friendly as launching the new Pixel 9 lineup 8 months after the previous model was released. Now the phone feels really nice in hand and I do like its size, although it's a little bit bigger than the iPhone base model. You can see it's a little bit taller. And overall, this design seems like it was refined and inspired by the looks of the iPhone 15, especially if you look at the side profile, the buttons and everything seems like it's the iPhone design code. The display is also plenty bright and the refresh rate makes it very fluid too. And I also like the way they did the animations with this phone. Have a look, you see, like I'm pressing the button, it sort of blacks out all the way to the power button, so that's a cool effect. Compared to the iPhone, you can tell the difference in refresh rate, of course. And here's the brightness at full blast. Let me know which one you prefer. It would be cool if they added also anti-reflective screen here, same that's on the Samsung Galaxy. But if we talk about the brightness, it's really good and I have no problem seeing the image here most of the times. The haptics are decent too, maybe not at the level as Xiaomi 14 series, but it's still out there and I like it. And I will talk about the AI features and why I'm not a fan of most of them. But first, let me show you my favorite part about any phone, and it's the cameras. Now on the Pixel 9, there is a 50 megapixel main camera compared to the 48 megapixel on the iPhone. And the main improvement over the iPhone is that the ultra wide angle camera here is 4 times more megapixels than on the iPhone. The Pixel 9 has the same main camera and ultra wide as on the Pro series, so there is no really quality sacrifice between the base model and the Pro model, except for if you want the telephoto zoom. But that's just their specs on paper. Let's see how they perform in real life. Let's go outdoors. Alright guys, so we have here Pixel 9, almost at Pixel 8 because they're very similar, and the iPhone 15, so let's compare them. I'm in the regular photo mode and right off the bat Pixel has way more manual controls and adjustments, make the shadows more darker or overexpose them a little bit. In that way we get this kind of shot. Let me take a photo. So it's more overexposed kind of feeling. Then the next setting here we have white balance control, which is really cool, and maybe finally Apple will add it to the new series of the phones, because sometimes it's really essential, especially if you're filming or taking photos in the shadows. On the iPhone you just have to rely on the automatic AI algorithm or whatever it is here to adjust the white balance and colors for you. Also, I want to tell you guys that I've been taking photos with the Pixel maybe for the past, I don't know, 10 minutes, but it really got hot. Like compared to the iPhone, I'm not so sure why it's happening. I'm also screen recording on this phone right now, but it feels like it's more difficult for the phone to process maybe all that data and it just heats up a lot. Anyway, let's take this shot with the ultra wide angle camera. Okay, now let's have a look. They both look pretty similar. It's hard to choose which one is better. There's more detail on the Pixel, yeah. Ultra wide angle camera seems to be much sharper on the Pixel. Also, the iPhone seems more grainy and has more noise. Let me take a few more shots just to make sure this is correct, okay? 2, 3 shot on the iPhone. Yeah, you see iPhone just lifts the shadows up. Just overall, the exposure looks too HDR-like, whereas on the Pixel, you can see the difference in brightness values. This sky is really bright. The building is in the shadow, so you can tell it's like different levels of exposure here. But this is just minor details in my opinion. Where the difference is really big is in the megapixel count and noise levels. Pixel seems way clearer with the ultra wide angle camera. That's interesting. One of the main differences between these phones is the macro capabilities. See, on the Pixel, whenever you move your phone close enough to a subject, you get that macro switch. Although same as on the bigger iPhones, this macro mode is achieved by an ultra wide angle camera. However, since it's a 48 megapixel camera here, it allows you to crop, so when you use 1x for macro, it actually takes the shot with ultra wide angle camera and crops it. And the quality of macro, well, you can see for yourself. And hopefully Apple will add it to their 16 series, because at this point it's just the software difference. Because the iPhone can focus pretty close to already, and all it needs is just a little bit power from the resolution or introduce a macro mode with the main camera. Alright, now let's talk about the portrait mode. Both phones perform pretty good, and I do not see much improvement here from my comparison between the Pixel 8 and iPhone 15. Personally, I think it would be cool if one of these companies collaborated with the camera manufacturers to introduce some of their color science and image processing, like what Xiaomi did with their 14 Ultra series. I still think that this is the best photo processing I tried on any phone. So it would be cool if Google or Apple collaborated with, let's say, Fuji or Kodak and added their film processing to the photo. Yeah, but talking about the portrait mode with these phones, it's good on the average level. I don't mind it, it works, yeah, it's alright I guess. Although Google Pixel offers you a little bit more flexibility with editing the photo with its AI features, so I will cover that a little bit later in this video. But first let's talk about the Lowlight capabilities. They provide different results. The Pixel looks pretty good this time, more or less on the same level as the iPhone in terms of the image quality and sharpness, but it does give more close to life colors. There's no color shift as on the iPhone, which goes too green sometimes. Another difference between them is that the Pixel has a dedicated mode for astrophotography. So let's test it. Okay guys, also today I received the message, bro, please mention all the night modes features, like can we do Milky Way time-lapse with this phone? And to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'll be able to see any Milky Way today, but I'll try this mode right now. So to get into the astrophotography mode, you need to go into the night side. Astrophotography, you see it's set to auto. As I was waiting for this 4 minutes to pass, weird sounds started to appear and it became louder and louder. For a moment it felt as creepy as MKBHD casket review. I turned on the light to see what's going on. I have a little fallen tree behind me. It's like two beavers next to each other, oh my god. I'm so close to this beaver right now. Oh my god, can you see it? Let me turn on the light. Disappeared with the stick underwater. To be honest with you, the photo looks clean, but there is too much of the light pollution, and because there is some gas in the atmosphere, this light is just being reflected by it and it just like spills all over the skies. Maybe if I apply some editing in post, I will be able to bring out more details in the sky and get those stars back in the frame. Let's have a look and see. The phone also saved like a 1 second time lapse, which it captured throughout these 4 minutes. And overall, I feel like the night photography is implemented a bit better on the Pixel 9 than on the iPhone. And I believe Google also offers some AI enhancement of your footage if you film in video, but it's on the Pro series. But it seems like it's too much hassle. I do not think it's a feature that should be deciding factor for you to go for the Pro model instead of the regular one, as the night mode here is pretty good too. Plus the Pro is bulkier, which is, for me personally, is a downside, as I would prefer to have a base model like this, as it feels nicer in pocket and just overall for day-to-day activity. I like these phones more. Maybe I should try a flip phone, by the way, because they're even smaller, like half of the size of this one. And there are also some smart camera modes here, so let's go and test them too. Pixel 9 and iPhone 15 both offer excellent panoramic photo features. The iPhone's panorama mode feels more like taking video, while with Pixel 9 you have to move your phone to take each individual frame, and you can even make pauses between each of them, which is cool and offers more creative opportunities, I think. The Pixel 9's panorama mode captures more details and has better color accuracy, while the iPhone 15's panorama mode is easier to use and has a wider field of view. But if we talk about the image itself, I would prefer the Pixel 9's quality. Another cool feature in the Pixel 9 is called Add Me. You probably heard about it. This feature allows you to add yourself to photos with other people, even if you weren't in the original shot. And the results are, well, sometimes are good, sometimes not so much. From time to time, it can mess up the proportions of people a lot. Like here, I decided to do this photo with my grandma, and by the way, at the same time, I'm thinking how it's pretty wild that she witnessed the Second World War and now taking this photo with the Pixel 9. Yeah, and as you can see, the results are far from perfect. And here we tried to take horizontal photo, but something went wrong. Literally. But the whole process is definitely a lot of fun. So now let's test the selfie camera. On the Pixel, I turn on the 4K recording and 10-bit as well. And I also have the speech enhancement, which should help me with noisy environments. On the iPhone, you can only adjust the resolution and frame rate, that's about it. Okay, so this is the video and audio quality on the Google Pixel 9. So I will walk a little bit because usually with the low light, the image stabilization is getting worse. On the Pixel, I have 10-bit HDR, so maybe it provides a little bit better image quality. I'm not so sure. iPhone seems a little bit brighter and more defined details whereas Pixel is more like mushy, a little bit more blurred. Either way, let me know which selfie camera do you prefer, Google Pixel or iPhone 15. Let me know down in the comments and see what other people are saying down there too. If we talk about the video capabilities, well then both phones perform pretty good. Their image stabilization is rock solid, and with the HDR on, I can capture a lot of the info in the shadows and highlights. And same as on the iPhone, Pixel 9 can now zoom in more smooth when switching between different cameras. So it's very hard to choose which one is better for me. I mean, both phones perform pretty well. Maybe iPhone is a little bit more video-centric. By the way, I had questions on Instagram asking what happens if you upload Instagram stories from your Pixel. Does it decrease your quality or not? So you can decide yourself. I already posted some content there, so you can check it out. The quality just stays consistent for me, whether I'm using the Pixel 9 or iPhone 15 or some other phones. And I think what does affect the image is your internet connection speed. As sometimes I have really bad quality previews on my iPhone Pro Max, which improves when I get connected to a better, faster network. Alright, now let's talk about the AI stuff. Google Gemini is pretty cool from the first glance, but as I tried it more and more, it was far from perfect. Like there is this summarized video feature, and I asked it to analyze my own video about Pixel 8, the video that I made last year, and it mentioned a lot of the things and made some conclusions I never said at all. So it does not represent the reality the way it is. Imagine relying only on the AI skimming the content for you just in the end to find out it's not what the video is about. Also with this AI and Gemini integration, there were countless of disclaimers that your data, photos and audio recordings will go to Google for processing, and that some of that data will be manually reviewed by people. So that's a bit creepy if you ask me. But hey, if you do not mind it, it's a good phone. At the end of the day, both of these phones are really good at what they offer. In terms of camera capabilities, Pixel offers more in the photography department. Also, iPhone may be better for long-term investments, as Pixel phones seem to lose a lot of its initial price. And if you need some virtual assistant that works pretty snappy, though sometimes giving inaccurate statements, then Pixel is the way. And I love the overall Android version here compared to other flagships that cost much more. And guys, I buy these phones myself, so if you want to support me, you can either become the channel member, that will help a lot, or you can download my wallpaper pack, which is not AI generated, but rather it's real photos that I took. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know your choice in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. And meanwhile, make sure to watch this video next. I think it will be perfect for you, and I'll see you there. Yeah, maybe this one too.